Afternoon, Tate.
Afternoon, Jack. You all right?
Yes. How are you?
Very well. Not too bad. Nice bank holiday weekend.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's
Very
always nice the additional days off work, so can't complain. It's been a sunny last 2 days. Today and yesterday was sunny. Saturday was a bit of a wet wash.
Yeah.
Nearly wiped out the I'm going to say annual, but we do it more than once a year. The annual
Feels
Boar
like
and Beer Festival.
Yeah, every 2 months, Jim hosts the Boar and Beer Festival. No, it's good. Nice.
All good, and a nice weekend of football as well.
Yeah.
Slowly getting back into the swing of it. Second game down, and we'll run through the Man United early kickoff. We'll touch on some of the promoted teams. Then that's a nice little link to Leicester and Spurs, because obviously you're at the game on Saturday. Nice 4-0 win for you. And then we'll do our usual roundup, winner, loser, and predictions, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But last night, started in the afternoon, Jack and I were at the Riverside Inn for a few beers, and we created a new game. And the game is going to be part of the teaser today. Effectively, you go onto Wikipedia, scroll down until you go to the club stats, and you can only tell them normally it works with strikers, and you'll see why. Strikers, attackers. You tell them the league they played for and how many goals they scored, and you go for 3 years at a time, and then you have a guess, and so on and so on. But we'll revert back to this at the end for your question on this. So let's start at the Amex, Brighton Man United. That was actually our prediction, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
The game we decided to pick.
I said 2-1 Man United, and Tate got it bang on.
I said 2-1 Brighton, although I have wrote down here Brighton 1 Manchester United 2. It was a good. I say it was a good game. It started well, and then they sort of went into a bit of a lull. I think all these games will be at the beginning of the season. Yeah,
and the early kickoffs are normally are a draw as a bit of a slow start. I don't think many teams like playing at 12:30 on the Saturday, but yeah, I mean, I don't think United were that terrible in the first half, really. I know they went 1-0 down. That guy Welbz.
United are just, and this is going to sound really stupid, United were just United. The United they've been for the last season and a half. They've got good individual players. They don't particularly play well as a team. Brighton had a couple of chances. United had a couple of half chances. In particular, there was a great cross from Dalot that Diallo then put wide. So it was a pretty even game, and Brighton opened the deadlock, like you said, with Welbeck. It was a good cross from Joao Pedro. He sort of dug it out of nowhere. Could Maguire have done better? Who's the new fullback called again?
Mazraoui.
Could he have done better? And then when the ball came back from Matoma, you have Welbeck standing in the 6-yard box, unmarked, in between Martinez and Maguire. That simply cannot happen. For him to slide in and score his 5th goal, I think, against Manchester United.
Really? 2-2, isn't it, this season? So, I think you said last night, but he probably scored maybe 4 more in the whole season, so he needs to slow down. Yeah,
because I think he's been there 5 years at Brighton. He's never scored more than 6 goals. It's 6, and 5, I think he got. So, like we said, he's got four goals left to score this season.
He's got to pick and choose,
because it's something like injuries will happen, or loss of form, or Brighton might sign another sign that Matt Riley now, so maybe that changes the situation.
And sort of jumping ahead, but obviously Arsenal got Brighton next week, so that's another former club. Is he going to use up his goals there, or what?
Well, he scored against us last season, I think. Oh, it's in the Cup. He definitely scored in the Cup.
But he tends to do well against Man United and Arsenal, so he started very well, hasn't he? And really, that's Fabian Hurtzler's first home game, and 2 wins from 2. Obviously, my early prediction or whatever, they might flop, but it's very early, 2 games in, but they just haven't broke stride. They're just same old Brighton. They've had sort of 3 managers in the last few years, and they're doing absolutely what they always have been doing.
Look like they've just taken off from where De Zerbi left them. And moving into the second half, I know Rashford had a goal ruled off for offside just before half time. It was a good cross. He was already offside, but it came back and hit him on the ankle. Like, if he'd meant that,
it was it looked like quite a cool little finish. But obviously
offside. Moving into half time, Money Mace got hooked.
Injured again, wasn't he?
Got hooked and Garnacho came on at half-time, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
And it wasn't too far into the second half. It was on the 60th minute that Diallo, who was having a bit of a not a tough afternoon. Things weren't particularly going well for him, but he found some space on the right hand side, set through by Maswari, cut inside, put two Brighton players on their arse, and smashed it home. It deflected off Lewis Dunk, I think it did, but it was going in anyway. Yeah. Weirdly, the commentary team were like, "Oh, that has to be his goal. That has to be his." There's no doubt it was not going to be his goal. And they were level. That was actually shortly before Danny Welbeck hit the bar on a header to make it 2-0.
I think Milner had one cleared off the line.
Yes, yeah, you're right.
Welbeck smacked the bar. But then all those little charts, I think that you sort of hinted at it, but it sums up Man United and how they play football at the minute, and they do allow the other team plenty of opportunities, and they're just Manchester United. They always have that factor. That's what they done against Fulham in the first week. It was a nothing game really. They weren't. It
could have gone either way.
Yeah, no real team was brilliant. No one was really dominating, but they obviously got the winner last week. But then Xerxes, the hero last week, with that goal,
turned into the villain.
Yeah, almost like the pantomime villain really. The way whatever happened is just ridiculous really.
Yeah, because they set for I think Bruno Fernandes low cross, camera cross, and Garnacho turned it home. Went off celebrating, but Xerxes obviously didn't, because I think he knew what was coming. Yeah. Very unfortunate for the lad, because obviously as Fernandes has smashed that ball across, he slid in to try and get that one. He's still sliding as Garnacho's hit it, and it's obviously hit him on the knee and gone in bang on the line. And the rules are the rules. Yeah. He's offside. Yeah. It's going in anyway. You'd be sick if you're a Man United fan. Really, when things aren't going for you, things aren't going for you. But
it's hard. Just move your leg, or Garnacho just put it in the goal. But that is just like a freak thing that just never anticipate that's ever going to be in a scenario that you're going to have to deal with. But I think Hertzler said it, but they were lucky not to concede the second goal. That could have been 2-1 and a very different ending. But I think the momentum switched and Brighton went up another gear, and United would sort of just stand as they were, really. And they just dominated that final part, really. And that's what obviously led to the goal. But in that moment, there was a few Ten Hag made. He took off. Who did he take off?
Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah, he took off. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes for McTominay. So left on Casemiro, who's obviously knackered, and you need energy. You need someone to be able to move, and you've got that immobile object in the middle. And then he also took off Maguire for De Ligt. Why?
Yeah,
it doesn't make. It just doesn't. Yeah,
he did the same decision.
Just an unnecessary sub. It's just ridiculous.
I think he did the same one against Fulham as well, but De Ligt on for Maguire or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying Maguire's brilliant, but what is that achieving? But then you look at the other side. Brighton they brought on. It was late, but they brought on Adingra. They brought on Rutter, and then just before they brought on Cisse or someone
they made a
forward-thinking, attacking options to try and win the game. And
that was a note I put here. I said that the three really positive changes from the Brighton manager, and it sort of led to the goal, because it was Adingra who replaced Minter, who was having a bit of a frustrating afternoon for me watching, because he had lots of promise, got in lots of spaces, but he just kept cutting in, and Dalot read it really well, because Dalot was playing left back. Obviously, when you cut in, he was on his right foot, on a more comfortable position. But Adingra, for the 5 minutes he was on, he tried a few different things, and everything wasn't at 100 miles an hour. So when the ball came to him from that corner, he had the touch, looked up and clipped a lovely ball, and then you've got Joao Pedro standing in acres of space, and I think it was the other defender they've got.
I'm not sure his name.
Could have put it in if Joao Pedro hadn't put it in. And the Amex were jubilant scenes in the 95th minute, as they extended their 100% start to the season. Good celebration. You see Lewis Dunk slide in and then get cramp.
I didn't see that, no. But another loss for Ten Hag in away matches. There's 17 times he's lost away, and he's only won 16 times in his since he's been here. That's pretty poor, to be honest. Pretty shocking, and just he's, I don't know, his interview after, just sort of making excuses again and saying we should have done this and blah blah, but just doesn't. Don't know. I know we said last week about them. A lot of United fans want to back him and all the rest of it, but it's his third season now. He's been there 2 full seasons, and like we said plenty of times, but he just buys the people he knows for a lot of money, and nothing is really changing on the pitch.
it's just very meh. I don't really know. It's just like, okay, like it was an okay performance. Did they deserve to lose? Arguably not, but they definitely didn't do enough to win. And some of the decisions, like you said, some of these substitutions were just odd and quite negative. And I think it just looked different. Where you had a bloke who's been in charge for 2 months, 31 years old. They had clearly had a way of playing, an identity that we want to play it from the back. We want to do this. We want to do that. We want to do that. Whereas Man United, it seems to just throw a load of stuff at the wall and see what hits or sticks. Whatever the saying is.
And they
have extremely talented individuals, mate, and that's why they will win more games than they will lose. But there's no sort of style there. Or
it's not. And
plan or
Man United have chopped and changed their manager, and that doesn't help the players. Not making an excuse, but if you're chopping and changing different styles and they want different things, whereas with Brighton, they obviously follow that model. Even from when Ten Hag joined, Brighton have had 3 different managers, and they've all beat Ten Hag's Man United at least once. Potter had done it just before he went to Chelsea. I think Zerbi might have even beat him 4 games out of them, how many they played, and obviously Hertz's first game and he's won. So that's 3 different managers with 3 sort of different, if you like, Brighton squads. But yeah, they're stuck with Ten Hag, and there's not a lot improving.
There's a stat going around. Hasn't Ten Hag lost 5 of 6 games against Brighton, something like that?
Yes, the last I looked at it, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's not.
Because I know they beat them. Man United won last game of the season, wasn't it? At the Amex 2-0.
And it was, maybe it's a bit of a bogey side, I'm not sure, but basically from the moment Ten Hag joined, their record against Brighton has been shocking. They've, like you said, lost 4 or 5, 6 times or whatever it is. So
I think it was actually his first game as well in charge. He lost to.
Yeah, it was start of the season. I remember it was Brighton away, but and that maybe on Brighton right now they're obviously buzzing the two games in, one on both with a new manager, but I don't know if it's a slight sort of manager bounce similar to what you saw with Palace when Glasner came in at the end of last season. A bit of excitement, bit of energy. I don't know if it's happening with Brighton, but I mean, the very young manager is doing really well. Away
at Arsenal on Saturday, so
title decider.
Interesting, interesting game. It's 2 teams, 100% record. 12-30 game again, so that'll be an interesting one to see how they deal with that playing away from home as well. But no, for me it was a quote a successful hate watch to start the weekend off right. Seeing Welbeck score against Man United is always nice. So we shall see what next week brings. Moving on to the 3 o'clock games, and obviously Ipswich had faced Liverpool last weekend in the opening game, and didn't get much easier when they had to travel to the Etihad. But interesting, they went 1-0 up after 7 minutes. Yeah.
I think everyone's. I don't know. There was a stat. It's sort of nitpicking, but there's a thing about City. They've stupid goals they conceded from fast breaks or something like that. It's been quite a high number in the recent seasons, but it does seem to happen against all the teams they should beat, but a lot of the lesser sides, they seem to go nick a goal here or there, and then City go, okay, let's sort ourselves out, let's wake up and we'll score 3-4, whatever it is. But yeah, I'm sure the whole of Suffolk were buzzing when Sammy Swadix went through. I'm sure he was, what a feeling. First game in the Prem, debut for his new club, 1-on-1.
Away at City.
Yeah, away at City, the champions, best team in the world.
The scenes in that away end for that 2 minutes would have been...
must have been incredible.
Would have been so, so good. Obviously, their first Premier League goal in 22 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Would have been fantastic. But like you said, it's a bit like that sort of meme picture when you're playing your PlayStation.
Sit
forward. Let's sit forward, boys. Let's take this. And Ipswich did shoot themselves in the foot. They gave away the silly penalty. And Muric gave away 2 crappy goals.
Yeah,
you can't do that.
That's not a good sign, because you've done it last season, didn't you, on like a couple of occasions, and was that his first game for Ipswich?
First game for Ipswich. Yeah.
It's already happening. Like, it's not you can make mistakes, like keepers obviously flap at balls or drop them in the net, but that's happened before and it's happening now, so that is not a good sign. But also, I think they'll take some confidence from the fact that they have scored at Etihad and against Man City, and in these first 2 games they almost writ them off before they even played, but they know they can score in the Premier League, so that is a small bit they can take forward. But yeah, I think see the mistakes that Leif Davis, a needless lunge prod trying to get the ball, absolutely no need for it, and the goalkeeper howler.
Yeah, and like I said, you can't be doing that at any level, and let alone against Man City. You can't afford any mistakes.
No.
And I think once they got them 3 goals, they were just like, right, let's go back basically to sit in a neutral and we'll just see the game out. And if we get another goal, we get another goal. Like keep your arms length. That's what I was basically looking for. It was quite funny, not funny but because we were waiting for the bus to go to the beer festival, and by the time the bus actually drove past us anyway. But by the time we got in the cab, it was it's only like a 10-minute drive, and the penalty had been given shortly after we got in the cab. And by the time we got out of the cab, it was 3-1. It was 3 goals in like 10 minutes. Or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
But that's what Man City can do, and another Erling Haaland hat-trick, 4 goals in 2 games.
And they've got Gundogan back as well.
What's that, sorry?
Gundogan's gone back as well.
Yes, that was an interesting sign. That's typical Barcelona, just brain dead.
Just didn't work out, whatever. But yeah, I think it's quite astute as we've used before. But for Man City, they're obviously a very good team anyway. I think he's probably better than Kovacic for them, and in that role and all controlling the tempo and all the rest of it. So yeah, I think it'll be
away
very
at
good.
West Ham next Saturday. It should be interesting. And Ipswich is the game we talked when we had JJ on the pod. This is the real one they need to focus in on before the international break. Fulham at home. Yeah. 3:00. They have to get
point. I don't result. It's again early on, but yeah, you've got to.
You don't want to be going into international break 3 losses from 3. I know it's tough and they're 3 tough games, but Fulham is the one that they have to look at and think, we can get something out of this. Yeah.
Because they're all struggling. Obviously, the 3 promoted sides. Leicester got 1 point.
Yeah, Southampton lost again. They lost 2. For me, Southampton, that home to Forest is like one
that's a real killer.
You put on your calendar.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like I said, I think it's 1 miss for Southampton very early on against Forest. Like Forest's 3rd season in a row. They've got some decent players in the forward areas, but yeah, again, it's ridiculously early. But Southampton would be fuming with that. I think you've got to put up a bit of a fight at home. Forest are okay. They'll be in and around there, down the bottom. But yeah, you've got to score, haven't you? You've got to give your support something to cheer about, and sort of get behind.
And Forest aren't the best of teams, and
they're all right.
They haven't got a great away record either. So that is a game that you want to get something out of. Yeah,
and I think because Russell Martin came out after and said about the atmosphere in the stadium, as in not the noise they were making or lack of, but he felt there was a lot of tension between the fans, and they're obviously very apprehensive. I think he's sort of felt that they're sort of scarred from what happened before, and he's probably realising now that it's not just he's got to work out what to do on the pitch. He's probably got all sorts within the club to change, and I don't think they need that nervous tension in the air, but. Yeah, just not looking good for them, is it?
And Southampton next week away at Brentford. That's another game.
Yeah,
but
and that's. I mean, all their games are gonna be hard when you look at them. But yeah, Brentford are another at the moment consistent team in the Prem. Yeah.
And then moving on to Leicester. So obviously Leicester Monday night, a week ago today, played yourselves. Could have been 4-0 at half time.
Could have been done and dusted, but then also they could have won 2-1 when Vardy went through again. So, I think that's for those sort of sides, that home performance is it's always going to happen. But if Leicester can replicate that all the time, okay, they got battered in the first half, but they rode their luck and still in the game and didn't lose. So if Southampton can try and emulate that, maybe. But yeah, again, Leicester just look poor. I just think they
look like
poor.
A championship team.
Yeah, and they lose again against Fulham, and a nothing game, like a bit like the Southampton Forest. It wasn't like they were battling and trying to score, or like it was equalised late on. It was just they've lost 2-1 and Southampton lost 1-0. So yeah, Leicester, I think they're going to struggle real.
Yeah, because out of the on the opening day, that first half was they looked the weakest team that had come up against you lot. Obviously, they're the only ones that've got point. But that first half was quite worrying, I thought, at some stage. The ease that you got through. And like you just touched on there, the loss to Fulham weekend. So nothing. Yeah,
it wasn't. Don't know. There was no fight. I know it's early on, and it's obviously Steve Cooper's a new manager trying to get what he wants across. But yeah,
did Skip play?
Skip no. Winks did.
Skip play on the weekend.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think so.
I don't know.
No.
But it just even them signings that Jordan Ayew and
They signed him?
Yeah, from Palace for like 8 mil, and then they've obviously got Oliver Skipp.
Do you know he never scores?
They're just players that they don't fill me with much confidence that they're going to change.
No, I wouldn't.
Much.
I think Skipp's an okay player, but I wouldn't. He's not going to drag you out of a relegation battle, is he? He's not going to score you 10 goals and assist 10 times. Like he just works hard in midfield, but it's just doesn't excite you at all, does it?
With Leicester at home to Aston Villa at the weekend, obviously Villa coming off a defeat. Will be interesting to see how they get on. You'd imagine they'd probably lose that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think maybe I was a bit optimistic with Ipswich in the pre-season part, but it's obviously going to be a huge struggle for all three of them. And yeah, just Southampton. I keep going back to Southampton, but first game, okay, Newcastle away, but they were down to 10 men. Yes, it's arguably harder sometimes, but 10 men, it's your first game. Go and give it a go. You're 1-0 down straight away, and that's the game done. And then Forest home, you're thinking, right, this is a game to go and get a point or whatever, and yeah, just another. It must be so crap. Like, it must be a real downer. But yeah.
And it's deadline day in 4 days, I believe. Is it Thursday or Friday? What's the
26th today?
It's the 30th, yeah, so Friday. Yeah. Friday is deadline day. So Ipswich seem to be signing a player every single time I go on Twitter, a bit like Chelsea. They've just signed that Jack Clark from Sunderland.
Have they? Oh, nice.
That deal for Brozier isn't quite there we land yet.
Is it not?
Apparently it's in personal terms or something JJ was telling me about.
They've got like the championship all-time 11 at the moment, haven't they? But yeah,
they do need a striker, and I think Leicester still need to do some business. But I think they know they're going to get stung by FFP.
Yeah,
and Southampton. To be honest, I don't actually know much about Southampton.
No, I don't know who they're interested.
I know there was a few rumours about Ramsdale popping around down there.
I don't think he'd want to do that, would he?
I don't know. Well, he's going to have to go somewhere down there. Wolves are another team that are looking at him, but. If he's going to play in the Premier League, they're the only sort of clubs.
He's going to play for Brentford.
He's going to go play for. But no, we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But I actually don't think they've looked the worst team in the league. Any of those three, the worst team. I think it's the team that you saw on Saturday.
So the Toffees.
Wow,
the Toffees are
Sean Dyche's merry men.
Yeah, they're in it deep.
7 goals conceded in 3 games.
Worst ever start in a Premier League history ever.
I actually couldn't get over how many highlights there were a match today in the first 14 minutes. I was like, bloody hell, they just got bombarded.
It was just it was we just dominated them in every. Yes, they're poor, but again, you can only beat what's in front of you. But yeah, that is because Tottenham historically struggle against a team that sit in a block and don't really attack and don't really come out of their positions, and that for us is like the blueprint. Is like, look, when we play that sort of side, that's what we've got to try and do, and we did that. Yeah, it was a very good game. It was. Yeah, all areas were very good, but yeah, Everton just shocking, and obviously Pickford making it 2-0 doesn't ever help, and
it's just an awful goal, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's so. I mean, I'll talk about him later, but he's just so. He is obviously he's not well. Like there's something wrong with him. He's not well. He's a seriously ill bloke because he just all he wants to do is absolutely level that ball as far and as high and as hard as he can, and that's what happened when. He got the ball played back to him. And you can see him like tensing up, trying to sprint because he knows someone's coming. He's just trying to lever it, and he's obviously so far off it. But yeah, I mean, I think we spoke about it over the weekend. But they have a couple injuries, and Dyche sort of lent on that in the post-match thing. But I mean, like we said, but what Branthwaite would play, I'm not. I think Coleman's coming
Ashley
in.
Young.
Yeah, Ashley Young, like 39-year-old Ashley Young, who got sent off in the first week because he's 39 years old playing fullback and. Yeah, it's not as if they've got, I don't know, Landon Donovan coming back in or Fellaini like this. Yeah, their squad is what it is. It's pretty poor.
And there's rumours that they want to try chip off Calvert-Lewin as well. And
then they're just in a worse position.
I mean, I know he's not great, but it's like trying to find
something
like.
Yeah.
I do still think they'll be okay because Dyche, they could do this for 3 months and then Dyche will just get a winning run and they'll just they'll always win 1-0 for like 3-4 weeks in this trial.
This is the 3rd consecutive season they've lost their first 2 opening games. Obviously, the margin of goals this time around is poor, but I do think like you said, in a few months they'll get a little run, a few 1-0s, a couple draws, and because of the other teams will have so little points as well, they'll probably be bolstered up, but. Yeah.
And it's funny because when we started the podcast, do you remember our little saying, "Oh, you need a win.
Yeah.
Go get Bournemouth."
Yeah.
And they're at home to Bournemouth on Saturday afternoon, which you could see a 2-0 win. Or to be honest, I actually looked at the Super Six. That's one of the Super Six. I was like, I don't know what to put on this yet.
No, because Bournemouth not sure. They
played really well against Newcastle, and
they're scoring goals. I know they lost Solanke, but they're finding a way to score as well. But I don't. Yeah, Everton's not panic station just yet, but they do have to improve. Like you said about as a supporter, if you're watching them, like, oh, can we have a performance from Decore, or is Tarkowski like absolutely smashing everyone, winning every header, or losing, or is Calvert-Lewin smashing them up the front and scoring or whatever? But yeah, there's just no energy. There was no excitement. It was just so flat, and that journey for them. And you saw that little video that's come out, them having a go at all the players, and yeah, there's a
but just start the season like that. I think it's just horrific, and especially from. And I actually don't think Dyche can escape the blame as well, because he normally is the one. Oh, because of him, we're so lucky we've got Dyche because he's going to keep us up. Like that seems to be like the lazy punditry thing. Because of him, we'll stay up. Fuck me, he's had all summer to do something, to come up with a plan. I know I bashed Ten Hag enough things, but this is the best he could have come up with in the first 2 games of the season.
I didn't. I told you, but
I get that you lost to Spurs and you can lose to Spurs away because they can be good at home, but. There's way to lose, and the 2 losses have been pathetic. Yeah, and
Dyche is quite after. He said it's difficult here, and we are stretched, and all the rest of it. I don't like making excuses, but we are. That's a fact. It's a strange situation here, and it has been for a number of years. But in my 19 months, we kind of build something, then we have to go back down to the hill again, to then remind ourselves of the challenge, and then we all pull together and we do it again. But that sort of like talk of it's a strange situation here, and it's been a number of years at the club. Like I don't know that would worry me if he's coming out and saying that already. And just. I
mean, I know there's problems off the field of owners and trying to sell, and obviously the new stadium lingering around, and they have got no money. And how many points they get deducted last season? Enough. Yeah. Could there be more on the horizon? Probably.
And like you said, the transfer window's closing, but like you just said, they've got very little money. If they're trying to sell players like a Calvert-Lewin, I can't imagine there's going to be a quick turnaround. They're going to get a replacement in, and so it could be quite bleak.
I mean, they have 3 strikers: a Calvert-Lewin, Beto, and Neil Maupay.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
But he doesn't want to be there anyway.
No.
He wants to play at Brentford. They don't want him. Beto is playing in the Johnson's Paint Trophy.
Beto is useless, by the way.
And buddy, Calvert-Lewin. Now he's got cornrows. Like it's looked awful. Yeah. Absolutely awful.
And last season we played Everton. I think we beat them home 2-1. But they come and they play that 4-4-2 essentially. They're sitting, they're tight, and they're horrible, and they're really effective. But they've started off this season just so far off it.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how they get on against Bournemouth, who I actually thought were robbed yesterday. I don't know if you've seen the goal. I don't even know if it comes off his arm. I think it looks like it comes off Dan Burns' arm.
But if you, as well, which is even stranger, on match day they show you the rules, like the photo of where they think handball is and all the rest of it. Like everyone says, the little T-shirt, that is the supposed thing, but
and it hits him there, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they're also saying now that if the ball hits that part, but it's not level with the armpit, I don't know how or what that. Yeah, how you even figure that out, but that's the rule, and I do think it shouldn't have been a goal. I don't know. I just don't think you can. I know there's a rule, but I don't think you can score with your arm. That can't be a thing.
What about Joe Linton's clothesline?
Surely that's a straight red.
Have you seen Dermot Gallagher on that stupid refs watch?
He was like, does he agree with the ref?
For me, no part of me says that's a red card.
What? Why?
It was like his main intention is to stop the quick break.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, does that mean you can just clothesline goalkeepers?
Yeah. But that's a stupid comment.
And the presenter was like, well, what happens if a centre midfield did that in the middle of the pitch? And his response was such an arrogant ref response. Well, it wasn't.
Oh, he's such a prick. He is such a prick. He's honestly, any ref you've ever met is him. But it's just a red card. It's just a red card.
Like, he's not tried any intention to play the ball. We're just taking him out.
No. It's like it's sort of, but when John McGinn's quite harsh, but as in strong tackle. When we played Villa away and John McGinn just ran the width of the pitch, just lever, do every kicked, and that's a red card in the way that Joe Linton just clearly just grabbing a neck or head and pulling back. It's just shocking.
The thing I think that may even stop the ref sending him off there is, I think it's a red card, and it's one of those, like Ashley Young, for example, got sent off last for a professional foul. It's only a 1-game ban. I do think if he'd got sent off and got 3 games for that, would be quite harsh.
Yeah.
But that would be one, like a straight red, but it's 1-game ban, that sort of thing. Like for I think deliberate handball is 1 game if you get sent off, something like that.
Yeah, it was a bizarre. Yeah, very bizarre. But
Newcastle looked a bit.
I'm not sure but they've got.
This would be a good time to play Newcastle. If you funny enough, I just looked at the fixtures and you've got them
away. But then last 2 seasons we've been absolutely demolished there. So we shall see. But they've got weird off the field things going on, like Trippier causing all sorts of havoc. It's just what is wrong with I know we spoke about the weekend. It's like an old man conversation, but the footballers are actually so thick. They're so stupid. You could talk about it forever, but like the Madueke with the bloody Wolves is a shithole and puts it on his story. It's like it's just so dumb. Like, what are you doing? Just so stupid.
It is funny though. It is funny. Right. Should we touch on Arsenal for a little bit?
Yeah.
Obviously the Unai Emery derby. Saturday evening, 5:30. This fixture's got a bit of what's the word I'm looking for? It's got something about it now because of what they did to us last season. They effectively cost us the league, and Emery and this whole Arsenal should have kept it. Like no. Like, let's not go down that route again. If people want to rewatch our highlights under Unai Emery and tell me he was doing a good job, yep, continue. So it was very sweet to get the delicious 3 points. Although we were somewhat fortunate at times. Ollie Watkins will have a day to forget.
Oh, just how's he missed it? Like anyone scores that. Anyone just
the first one he just didn't get didn't sort his feet out, and it's just dragged it wide and quite a way wide actually. When you actually watch it back.
So late when he connects with the ball.
The second one, obviously they've got very very fortunate with the deflected shot looping up hitting the crossbar because Onana shot's going wide, I think. And all Watkins is thinking is just putting it on target, and he doesn't think the goalkeeper's going to get up, and it's a fantastic save from Raya.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does exactly. He's like, header, just get on target, I'll score, and pulls out another save, another brilliant save.
It's a great reaction save, and it's the old cliche. That's why they do the training.
Oh,
they get up and down.
That's so late. From whoever Neville says, it's like so lazy. Like, shut up. They do it at the train every week. Like, shut up.
But we obviously rode our luck in them 2 big moments, and Leo Trossard stepped up after being on the pitch maybe a minute, and scored with his first touch. But interestingly, it was also 2 minutes that he came on at the same time that Watkins and I can't remember. It might be Rodgers came off or something like that. Came off. And they were the 2 main pressers. Like they were pressing Arsenal's back four the whole time.
I think Rodgers, he played pretty well, didn't he?
And they're the ones that he forced the mistake for the Watkins miss. But when they came off, the subs came on, they just didn't press with the same intensity. And we had to play out a lot easier. And I think that you saw that within 1 minute, 2 minutes of being on the pitch. That John Duran was the match winner last week, but he's not the same astute player as Watkins is in them defensive situations. And we were through, and then a nice little play from Saka, cut it back, and it's a great finish.
But even that, the Saka cuts back, but then the Villa player pokes it towards Trossard. It's like, mate, just kick the ball away. What are you doing?
You may have seen some of the videos. I think we looked at the videos before, but Villa Park's a great
away end.
A great away end. I was trying to get words out then. And the videos are just great. We have the top and the bottom below, and it's just lots of
it always
jubilant
seems that
scenes.
Because obviously I think second half all the away teams attack that other end, and because they want to attack the whole end. Villa do, so they always seem to wheel away to that sort of corner, and
So it was jubilant scenes in the away end, and then about 10 minutes later, similar sort of position, Saka pulled it back, and Partey, strange sort of finish, like goalkeeper should and will be wanting to do better there.
He's got to save.
The world's best goalkeeper.
He's got to save it. It's not. Yeah, he hasn't got to do better. He's got to save. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he puts his hands in his head. He knows.
Yeah.
He knows that was the game there and then.
But then it's like one of those moments of like against Arsenal. There's that like weird sort of rivalry. Like obviously he has that weird connection with Arsenal. He's a bit of a prick and thinks he's absolutely incredible, and he makes a shocking mistake like that. But yeah.
And then Odegaard, for the third season on the trot, misses a sitter.
Yeah, blazed it over, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh, God, Martin. This is the third season on the trot. At that end, he's missed it. He just blazed it over. He put one wide 2 seasons ago, and then Martinez made a save last season from him in that exact position. And then there was one chance for, I think it might have been Jacob Ramsey, actually.
Saliba got back there.
Great tackle. Yeah. But 2-0 away at Villa, fantastic result. And very happy with that. Moving on to next week. So
yes.
It was nice to right one wrong from last season. So there wasn't many, but that was one nice to put to bed, and we'll see them again probably in April, and I'm sure Unai will be up for the task to try and ruin our season again. But we shall see. Right. Man United Liverpool next week as well.
It's a Sunday, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. Why is that? Why did Man United? And this is completely off cuff, but when there's a Sunday game, I swear Man United always have some sort of power to change kickoffs. Like,
why is it not?
Kickoffs on Sunday for years they were like always 1:30, then 4, and then for the last few years it's been 2:00 and 4:30, which I don't like the 4:30, and it should be 4:00. Now Man United playing Liverpool, it's 4:00 kickoff, and you're on at 1:30. And do you remember when they play City? It's like a 3:00 on a Sunday. Like, why do they have like the power to do that? It's so weird. But it is what it is. We digress. Do we want to do the prediction first, or winner or loser?
Yeah, do go for the prediction.
Your turn this week.
My pick. Okay. Let's go.
As we did, Brighton versus United.
Oh, it's the FA Cup this weekend. Like qualifiers. Let's go Saturday at 7:45. It's Lazio and Milan. Emerson Royale.
Have you seen that pass he made?
No, I've not seen nothing.
I think it's yesterday. Wow, he's stepping into midfield, like no pressure on him, just made a sideways pass completely to no one, and the other team intercepted it. So bad.
He's quality. So Milan are away at Lazio, and I'm going to go 1-0 to Lazio.
I will go down that same route, and I will go 2-0 Lazio.
Nice.
No, 2-1 Lazio.
2-1
Lazio.
No, nice.
Right, winner of the week. I'll kick us off. And you mentioned him earlier. Maybe he could be winner, he could be loser, but Noni Madueke. As you may have seen on Saturday night, he posted everything about this place is shit and tagged Wolverhampton in it. Quickly deleted it because it was on his wrong profile or something like that. Like, why does he even have 2 Instagram profiles? So obviously he was booed from minute 1 at Molineux, but in the second half he turned it around with a 14-minute hat-trick.
All like identical goals.
All identical goals, all assisted by Cole.
Yeah.
And it was just fair play to the blokes. Yeah. Called your town shit, scored a hat-trick and gone home.
It's almost written in the stars like either he was going to have an absolute stinker, Wolves win like 3-0, or he scores a hat-trick and they absolutely batter you. But yeah, he's obviously just a prick, but that is quite funny.
And then his post-match interview, he was just like, he's like a 22-year-old bloke, and he was just like, I'm not really sorry, but he was trying not to laugh.
He was like giggling, wasn't he? Yeah, funny.
He was just like, I'm sort of sorry. Shouldn't have said it. I mean, he goes, I'm pretty sure Wolves is a nice place.
And he's laughing. Yeah, what a div. No, good. I was going to put him. I thought, he's could go either way. But my win of the week, I've gone for Granit Xhaka. When I turned up to the pub Saturday, and you were like, oh my god, he's seen Xhaka's goal, and what a belter. 12 minutes into the opening game, away at Gladbach, one of his previous clubs, and he just absolutely levers it, doesn't he, with his left foot, sort of a little bit of right to left on it, finds a top corner from 25, I don't know, seem absolutely miles out, but what a hit, absolutely levered it.
Just looks better as well because he's left footed for some reason, just the way it curves in, it's just
No, really.
Fantastic goal.
And he give it the old, like, no selly, like, got to respect my old club. I've just put it stanch from 30 yards. So, yeah, well done.
Take that. My loser of the week. I had a couple. Obviously, we had the final boss from the gym yesterday at the pub. Maybe that's a story we'll say about off air. So outrageous behaviour from this bloke.
Yeah, that was funny actually.
He was trying to chirps ladies, but standing with just
the leg on the bench.
The leg on the bench, the bicep in their face, basically.
Yeah.
Sipping a Guinness and then just kept on being on the phone, like who he was talking to on the phone all the time.
Oh, that was funny watching that group of people.
And then when I did tell him later on about him, he wasn't too impressed.
No, he wasn't until I don't think he liked you.
Obviously, we've had Ollie Watkins is stuff, but I've gone for as he's been nicknamed by his friends, Mr. Ringo, Kieran Trippier. Obviously, there were some rumours that going around just before the Euro started. That Trippier's wife had unfollowed him on Instagram and left the family home and kicked him out, blah, blah, blah. And obviously it's come out that he's got caught on his own Ringo. Is it Ringo?
Ring doorbell, yeah.
Ring doorbell. Bringing another lady back to the family house. Come on, Trips. Just all the money, can you not get a hotel or just keep it in your pants? And we've seen like in some of the articles that the England teammates have been calling him Ringo just to take the piss out of him. But loser of the week, Kieran Trippier.
Nice, very nice. But yeah, like you said, there was plenty of options this week. Could have even gone West Ham.
He could be Everton's new right back. So.
Yeah. Because.
Fuck it, hell yeah.
Could have gone West Ham fans crushing the Palace ball boy. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
That poor kid. Awful. That is not funny, but that poor kid.
And the worst one is then what's his name? Paqueta jumped on top of him.
Oh, it must have hurt so much, and he's so frightened. But I've actually gone for that man, Jordan Pickford. I was there obviously in person, saw it under my nose in front of the stand, and he can't avoid it. It's just awful, and he just sort of compiles it because he like I said earlier, he's just off his head, so he's like gesturing to the Tottenham fans because they're all giving him crap the whole game, and he's like shaking his head, and then he's obviously trying to say sorry to Everton and the fans and all that. He's just absolutely mental. So yeah, Jordan Pickford, mate, that's for you.
Yeah, lovely. Right. So let's end on the teaser. So a different sort of one. So we'll run through it slowly, so your listeners can understand the game, and we'll hopefully put some out on the socials or something. We'll figure out a way of doing it, or maybe we do one each week. So we give you 3 players or something, and you play along. And because we were doing it last night, there were some outrageous shouts.
Real good shouts.
This one though, a bit like what you did last night, so I'm going to skip the first league because that sort of gives it away.
Yeah.
So, let me get into position. Right, we're going to start off Season 1, Serie A, 24 goals. Season 2, Serie A, 24 goals. Season 3, Serie A, 14 goals.
Ibrahimovic.
Season 4, 24 goals.
Serie A still.
Serie A, 17 goals. Serie A, 19 goals. Now you haven't got much to work with here, but...
R9? The GOAT? No.
Premier League, 4 goals. Premier League, 5 goals. Serie A, 0 goals.
Oh, Jesus. It's a really hard game if you're listening. Like, what the hell? I'm obviously never going to get that, but when you do get it, it's real good.
So I think he did 6 unreal seasons. Serie A came to the Premier League.
It was crap.
Flopped.
And went back and then didn't score. Pato.
No, but
I thought I had it then.
You're very close on the clubs.
Damn. Oh, I thought that was a good. That was obviously not a bad guess, but
the next one will give it to you though.
Okay, hang on. Oh. Oh no, I can't get Pat out of my head. It's not even him.
Do you want a clue on the era?
Yeah.
The first season was 2000, so he was in the Premier League 2006.
Yeah. Oh, Shevchenko.
Andrei Shevchenko.
Yeah.
Because
nice.
the next one was Ukrainian Premier League.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Because he started off at Dynamo Kiev, but
yeah, a bit obvious.
It away.
Yeah, no, very good. So yeah, we'll, like Tate said, we'll try and either maybe next week put one, like just say one on here or put it on socials or whatever. But yeah, we'll figure out. And if you absolutely hate it, then tell us.
But no, we must buy that for about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's some belters, absolute belters getting drawn out. That was so funny.
But no, thank you again all for listening. Got one more week of the Premier League next week, and then we'll figure something out to do in the Nations League.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that.
Although Lee Carsley's first Carsley's first engagement as England interim head coach will be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, we will speak to you all next week. I hope you've had a lovely bank holiday. Enjoy the week ahead and stay loyal.
Stay loyal.